Hello YouTube, this is Charlie West making a Voltz tutorial. I'm going to make a creative world for you guys so I can show you how to make these questions that I've gotten a lot. Show you how to answer these questions I've gotten a lot. Okay, let's go. I've started getting into Voltz quite a bit because it has the ICBM mod. I guess I just kind of like it because there's all this advanced weaponry and such you can have. I'm gonna be showing some how to make a fusion reactor, how to make a fulmination generator, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So let's get started. First, I'm going to start off with a fusion generator. It's fairly simple. Mine is, it took a lot of trial and error to make this, but I got it down to pretty much a science. So, I'm going to show you what all you need. Some glass. You don't have to make it out of electromagnetic glass. You can make it out of electromagnets. I'm just doing this so you can see the plasma. I'm not going to actually have this powering anything. I'm just going to show that it's running as a proof of concept. Heard a sheep over there. Kind of just chilling. Sheep and a cow, excuse me. Let's just get this going. Okay, so basically the idea of this fusion reactor is that when it heats up the deuterium till it reaches plasma, which is superheated gas, and then that superheated gas heats up the electromagnets, and then the electromagnets turns the water to steam, which spins the reactor turbines, creating power. It's what I like about this Voltz pack is that the atomic science mod is extremely realistic. Not like Tech-It where you just like place down a block and it was all a fusion reactor in one. I like this because you actually have to construct it a certain way, and it shows you that it's actually doing something, which is why I like this mod so much. Okay, and there's you see how we have this hollow space right in the middle? That's what the plasma is going to be in. And then what you do is you just take reactor turbines and run them all up along this space in between the pillars that you're going to have on the corners here. Like I said, once you build this a couple times, it's really simple. This doesn't create like amazing amounts of power, but it will power quite a bit of stuff for you. Like you could have some deuterium extractors running off this, so you basically have an infinite source of power right here. If you're playing in survival, this definitely beats cheating and getting an infinite battery. That, and it's like 3 times cooler than an infinite battery. When I was playing survival, I of course started with a fission reactor, but it was just not working for me. It was not creating nearly enough power to power my particle accelerator. So I made a fusion reactor, and I was disappointed by that because I got frustrated with it because I didn't make it right in the first place. And then finally I was kind of like, this sucks. So I just made a fulmination generator, which like I said in the beginning of this, I'm going to show you how to make one. Fulmination generator, I learned, is pretty much just, it produces energy through an explosion. But before you can use a fulmination generator, you need a particle accelerator. You can make one of those. It has to be pretty big. or you can use the, they made a large hydrogen collider block that you can place when you're in creative. What you have to do is you have to change it to survival and then left click it, or whatever your command is to place blocks. You have to left click on the block once it's placed and it'll make one around you. But be warned, it will not make it where the block is placed. That'll be the center point for the whole thing to be made from. So you have to be cautious with that. Don't want to get, because it will destroy buildings if they're in the way. Okay, then what you need up here is just good old water bucket, because we need something to boil. You want it to have all still water up here, so it's an infinite water source. Almost done. Oh, let's fix that. Okay, then you have to connect up all the turbines. What I use is I just use silver wire. I think you can use anything. I'm not 100% sure on that, but silver wire is just what I use because I know it can hold a higher voltage than other certain wires. What you can also have is you can have right here, you can have pistons and then redstone running along. You can flip a lever and the pistons will come out and stop the water from flowing, which will shut down the reactor. It's really time consuming, so I'm just showing you how to set up the fusion reactor itself. It's probably not real safe to have water dripping down on my cables that are carrying a bunch of power, but what can you do, right? Oh well. Okay, so what will happen now is I'll put some deuterium in this, a 64 stack. You just left click it and then it's in there. And then what this will do is this will heat up, and then it'll heat up the water with the plasma that's in this center part, and then it'll spin the turbines, and the turbines will create power, and it'll just go in a circle. But in order to get this started, you need to give it kind of a jump. So what I always do is I just take a battery box and put a infinite battery in it. Make sure it's the black side, otherwise you ain't gonna get out any power. You see, it's on the red side, so you have to do it like, there we go. Put in that, and then this thing should start firing up. There we go. That is the superheated deuterium, which, if you can hear that bubbling, that is the water heating up. So pretty soon these turbines should start spinning and creating power, and I can get rid of the battery box. I'll show you kind of, you can see this is spinning. I'm not sure what that means, but I just think the little animation that it does is pretty cool. They're not spinning yet, but they will shortly. While this gets heated up, I'll show you how to make a fulmination generator real fast. This is probably one of the more expensive ones, but it produces a lot of energy, and the construct for it is pretty easy to make. It's just 3 blocks by 3 blocks. There's a 5 block by 5 block one, but once you get any bigger than that, it will crash you. So you gotta be cautious with that. Okay, like I said, this is 3 blocks by 3 blocks by 3 blocks. I think. Yeah, that's right. I might have made this wrong. We shall see. What you need to power this is antimatter. And then you need to get wires hooked up to all sides of this. You want it to cover every part of the generator. Thankfully, the generator itself will not explode because it has obsidian in it, so it's very blast resistant. But you have to be kind of careful with things around it. And it does give off radiation, so you have to have a hazmat suit around it. It's only in like the intermediate area around it though, so as long as you're not standing right on top of it, you should be alright. What I do is I just connect these center bits so the power goes through everything. Okay, I'm just gonna, this might blow up the bat box, but I'm just gonna have it running down, and I'll just have a down transformer so it doesn't blow up my bat box right away. And I'll have the power running into, let's use an advanced bat box so we can put some upgrades in it. What I always do with these is just ultimate storage, so it can hold a lot more power, and then a high voltage acceptor. Here, let's set it to so you guys can see. Okay, ready? Now what should happen is, I might have done this wrong, but what should happen is I'll toss this in here, about 3 seconds, it'll blow up. Energy will travel down into the bat box. Let's see if this works. Okay. Now we wait. 3, 2. Yeah. Oh, and blew up the bat box. But you see what I mean? If you can down transfer it long enough, it will down transform it. It won't blow up your bat box, and you can store quite a bit of power. And that power can be used to power a particle accelerator and a whole bunch of cool stuff. And like I said, I have radiation poisoning right now. So, yeah, you might want to be wearing a hazmat suit with this. This has been Charlie West posting a tutorial video. See you later.